Welcome to the big 4-0 episode of the Stache Club Wrestling podcast. My name is John.
My name is Dante.
Huge, monumental episode.
Massive.
As they would say.
Absolutely.
Episode 40, landing on just a regular week of Raw and SmackDown, but you can't ask for all the stars
It's big to us.
It's big to us.
And big to you as well.
Thank you for 40. We didn't think we'd make it. We did not think we'd make it this far to number 40. Here's to 50. Here's to 60. And, I mean, crossing over 91,000 subs.
Woo! Massive.
Things are getting wild. Things are getting wild.
Instagram too, 11,000. We're hitting,
that came out of nowhere.
We're hitting some big numbers across social media.
The Instagram, gained a lot of... all of a sudden I looked at it one day and I was like, oh, we're almost at 10K.
Instagram's interesting because, there are, weeks that go by where, you just, gradually building a few followers. Then you, with the reels and stuff, you have one. We posted the theme song promo reel, over 1,000 followers from that and stuff, over 100,000 views. Instagram is interesting, but we appreciate the support, obviously, from everyone across following us across all social media platforms, even TikTok. Aren't we close to 100K on there? Yeah,
we are. Yeah, TikTok's sneaky.
And come on now.
Everything's
look at us.
Up.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
They didn't think we'd do it. We proved them wrong. Thank you to you guys. But how are we? What's going on? We have a lot to talk about. There was a lot that happened on SmackDown. Some interesting twists and turns and developments that we can get into.
Yep.
Raw was last night, and then
I will say people are going to be excited to hear this. I watched AEW last night.
I saw you on Twitter last night during AEW.
Yep, I was home last night. I didn't have any plans, and I said, you know what? I'm going to watch some AEW, and I'm going to play some Fortnite with my new Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch skins.
You got it?
Oh, they came out last night. As soon as 8 o'clock hit, I refreshed the shop. I spent 2,400 V-Bucks.
That's one of my favorite clips we've
people
done.
Loved
is the V-Bucks
I've had so many people tweet at me and stuff. People are like, really? You spend that money on it? And people support me and stuff.
Yeah.
Someone tweeted at me. They're like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but someone was shitting on me for playing Fortnite or whatever. And then so many people were like, you're shitting on someone for playing a game that they like and stuff. I got shooters out there, so thank you guys. But yeah, no, of course I bought them.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of just ready to dive in.
Yeah, unless you have any stories. I mean, the only thing I really have to mention.
Of course.
I've had some. There's one person that's tweeting me every day saying day 3 of asking Dante what his Dunkin' order is. I'd never really reveal it to you guys. I kind of want to save it for a big. I want to save it for a big occasion.
Episode 50.
I don't want to just spill it out on a random episode.
How about this? I mean? That's what we're gonna do for 100,000 subscribers. Is Dante will let you know his Dunkin'
Tell your friends, tell everyone to subscribe because once we get 200K, I'll tell you my order. But today, my order is different.
Okay.
Because pumpkin spice is back, baby. It's
Hell
pumpkin spice season in August. The earlier the better.
Like it.
Bro, I fucking love pumpkin spice.
Summer's not over.
Everything, bro. Pumpkin spice is the fucking goat. I love it. First pumpkin spice coffee of the season. It's delicious.
I was gonna say,
I'm a big fan of it. Oh, it hits so. Dude, I took my first sip and my window rolled out. I go, woo! I was fucking so excited.
You look around, all of a sudden you're wearing a flannel.
So I tweeted. I was like, pumpkin spice back. Someone goes, oh, did you wear your leggings and Ugg boots today? So you're like, yeah, I did, motherfucker. But yeah, shout out pumpkin spice. Shout out Dunkin'.
Well, before we kick off the show. Got a little surprise. That'll be a little fun thing to do. I'll show you what I got. A little something under the table here. Your boy took a trip to the little flea market this weekend. Sorry for audio listeners.
What is this? What is?
Look at that.
Oh,
some old
shit.
1991 WCW trading cards.
Wow.
So I got 4 packs here. Figured we could open a couple on the pod here and kind of see what we get. I figured I thought the idea also, so it was so if you see $3 each, 4 for $10. There was 4 left. So I said to the guy, if I get all 4, can I take the box? And he was like, he didn't want to, and I was like, come on. And he was like, sure.
That's awesome.
So I got the box.
Sick.
Yeah, 1991, baby. So
you can tell that this box is from 1991 or something like that. Holy shit. That's awesome.
So again, I apologize for this segment for audio listeners, but we'll try our best. Cool. So I figured, I didn't know what to do, so I figured we'd take 2 each.
You want to do it right now?
Yeah.
Oh, let's do it.
I figured we'd take 2 each, and we'd go we'd go. You ever see someone open Pokemon cards where they like open them and they do like 2 to the front?
On TikTok, I will say I get a lot of like live streams of people opening like sports cards and stuff. And they're like under the camera. They do like one at a time and stuff. Yeah, let's do it.
And then I think we can go head to head and we'll blind like draw.
Okay.
And then slap down who we got and kind of be like, oh, you would win that one.
Okay. Oh, dope. Yeah, let's do it. I mean?
Okay. And we'll do our best to make this.
Oh, this is fun.
To make this
I wasn't expecting this at all. I love surprises.
So what? Here, take your 2. Okay.
I'll do these ones. Okay.
All right, we'll take one. We're going to do this, so open it from the back. We'll do this like Pokemon. Open it from the back. Don't look at the front.
Yep.
And then we'll go. There's no way this is how it actually is supposed to be done. But take the 2 from the back. I guess they have the names on the back.
Yeah, I'm not.
Go 2 from the back. I think this is how they do it, and then put them in front.
Okay.
I think this is how.
Okay,
I mean, obviously they're not
you
set
know
up.
better than me, so okay.
Okay. And then just go from the back, and we'll draw. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, upside down.
I got Doom.
I got Dutch Mantel.
All right. Well,
I think I'm gonna go with Doom. That name's a little bit more serious.
Is that? Oh, Doom is Ron Simmons and Butch Reed.
Yeah, you won that one.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, Dirty Dutch Mantel.
I'm realizing we're not gonna know most.
Well,
of
let's
these.
have some fun.
Oh, you got a good one. I saw.
Okay.
Okay.
I just
1, 2, 3. I guess we'll show them the camera first. I got Flying
Ooh,
Brian.
Fabulous Freebirds.
Ooh,
That's a good one. Oh, I like that.
That's cool.
Very cool. Okay.
Who's Flying Brian? I don't know
Jimmy
who Flying
Garvin
Brian
and
is.
Michael P.S. Hayes. Let's go.
This
Okay.
isn't Brian Pillman Jr., is it? Or not Jr., but Brian Pillman? No, that wouldn't make sense. Flying Brian? I have no idea.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right.
Okay.
You won one. I think it's 1-1.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
El,
I got Arn Anderson.
Oh, it's a El Gigante.
I'll take that one.
Yeah,
I'll take
you'll
that
definitely
one.
take that one. He's 7'7".
Damn.
Favorite food, the chewable kind. Oh, he played basketball. Good for him. Yeah, 7'7". You should be playing basketball. All right.
What is this? A checklist? I got a checklist next. Okay. Disregard the checklist.
I don't have a checklist.
Okay.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Teddy Long.
Oh, Southern Boys.
Ooh.
That's sick.
That's
Look at that
like-
Teddy Long.
Look at that. Look
That's
at his
fucking
outfit.
sick.
That's so cool.
That's
Teddy.
dope. Yeah, you got that one for sure.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
El
Oh,
Gigante again.
Ric Flair. Yeah.
Yeah, you won.
Yeah.
I think you won the pack opening, to be honest with you. Okay.
Motto, I'm the latest and the greatest.
Let's go.
That's sick.
I got 2 El Gigantes.
that's
They're actually
rare.
2 different cards, though.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so at least they're different.
Okay.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Flying Brian.
Sid Vicious.
Okay, yeah, you take that. Oh, this is also a different looking card. At least they look
too.
different.
Yeah, these
at
are
least they
sick.
look different.
And these are like the most. I apologize if this is.
Yeah,
coming up
I don't
on
know if
screen.
it's gonna pick up.
It's
fully,
the
but
most like. I mean, it's 1991, but like it's the most like 80s like sort of looking.
I
thing,
like it
you know?
though, honestly.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
The
I get?
Steiner Bros.
Damn, I got another Southern Boys. Steiner's
okay,
take
Steiner's sick.
that. Okay.
Motto: It's not my fault if you can't run with the big dog, stay on the porch. Okay.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Steiner Brothers
Damn, I got
again.
another Sid Vicious. You can take that.
2 different ones though. 2 different looking cards. Why is only one of them on that one though?
That's rare.
All right, fuck it.
1, 2, 3. Southern Boys.
Ricky Morton.
God damn.
Ricky Morton.
Oh, Ricky Morton takes that.
Favorite hold, the figure 4. Okay. Yeah, we're getting a few repeats.
Isn't he part? Wasn't Ricky Morton part of the Express? The we're gonna get eaten up for that.
This tag team could. Yeah, he was a part of a tag team. Yeah, let's fact check.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
Rock
and Roll Express. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Word.
All
All right,
good
2
shit.
more. I already see another. My last 2 are shit. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Sid Vicious.
I got another Flying Brian. Why are these all so similar?
I don't. At least they look different. All
Last
right,
one.
I'm gonna. This is Doom. I got.
Another Doom.
Ron Simmons. Okay.
I think you saved that one. 3, 2, 1.
Sting.
El Gigante. That's a sick Sting
Sting
one.
is a cool one.
That's
yeah.
really cool.
That is very cool. All right. That's
Wow.
pack 1.
It's pack 1.
Pack 2.
That definitely took longer than I thought. Maybe pack 2 we can just open them and see what we got.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
okay. We'll compare. That's fair. Okay.
just in case that game didn't go over too
But
well.
if there are repeats and stuff, we won't show those. And let me tell you, so far.
Yeah, you go first. and
Okay.
I'll open mine.
Yeah. All right.
What do we
so
got?
I got Lex Luger.
Okay.
Another
Ooh, that's a good one.
Another Steiner Bros. Another Lex Luger.
Damn.
Jim Ross.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a cool one right there. Jim Ross.
Who's he with? No idea.
Oh, that's Lex Luger.
Oh,
a lot of Lex Lugers. Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Another Sting.
Another Sting. That's a cool one too. In the pink.
Damn.
Terry Taylor. Don't know if he was part of anything. Fabulous Freebirds.
Nice.
Z-Man. Okay. Another Lex Luger. Another Steiner Brothers.
Here.
Another Sting.
Another
Ric Flair.
That's a good pack.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm starting to think maybe in 1991 WCW didn't have a deep roster.
Yeah. A lot of repeats, but that's all right. It's okay.
Okay, let's see what we got.
I'm gonna try to like organize them so like all the Steiner brothers are together and stuff like that.
Mark my words and follow without you. Okay.
This was a great idea, John. Thank you for giving
I'm not.
me
Was it as we're going through it? I'm like, was this a good idea? Dutch Mantel, Fabulous Freebirds, Ricky Morton. These are all the same packs. Sid Vicious, Doom, Tommy Rich, Dutch Mantel, Fabulous Freebirds. Give me someone. Lex Luger. All right, I got Teddy Long. Got Teddy Long.
Okay.
I'll take a Teddy Long.
There we go.
Sting. Got a Sting.
There we go.
And Terry Taylor.
Okay, hey, maybe we'll talk trades later. Maybe.
Yeah, I think at this point we have the same cards. That's
Taylor.
crazy.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, feel free to keep your
All right,
your
I appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, you can throw away your trading matters all organized out.
Yeah, I'm just like trying to like keep them all together. You know what I mean? So I can be a little bit more organized.
I'm gonna see like a picture of this on eBay later of you.
Yeah, it's like 3 Sting cards for sale. That's
I want to
so
keep
funny.
the box is sick. I want to keep the box. We can figure out
1,000%.
like figure out how to incorporate the box or something. But for now, it'll
Good.
go over here.
Good stuff. Sweet. All right, I'm just going to.
Also, too, I get like wrestling cards aren't worth anything, so it's like.
What are you talking about? This Terry Taylor card's got to be going for thousands.
I didn't feel bad about opening them. The Teddy Long ones.
Honestly, getting the box was a huge move.
Sick.
Getting the box was a huge move. Ric Flair and Sting definitely were the highlights. Jim Ross is a cool one too, honestly.
The Sting one, the Jim Ross one's sick. Yeah, the Sting ones are really cool. What do you got? 3 Sting ones?
Yeah, 3
Damn.
Sting ones.
Overall, I'd say you won.
You think so?
I don't know. You got.
I think we got.
Yeah,
each got a pretty good, like, diverse set of cards. But
right.
good. That was a cool start to the podcast.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. Thank you again.
No problem. All right.
All right.
Where do we
Now
start?
let's talk about some wrestling.
Start at the top of SmackDown. We'll run through it. Pretty just. I mean, for both shows, kind of just like a. There's no major pay-per-view coming up, like right around the corner. So we're just storytelling. We're just kind of getting things together. Yep. Damage Control interferes in Asuka versus Charlotte, ending in a no contest. This is fine. The main story here is building up, Asuka and Charlotte still as competitors in the title picture. Bayley kind of keeps bragging about how we, being Damage Control, are the WWE Women's Champion. So still kind of planting those. I mean, at this point, there's been I don't know, the seeds have got to be overflowing.
I feel like they've been teasing a breakup for months at this point.
Just a solid start to the show to establish some more fallout from where we come from. SummerSlam.
Yep.
Bada bing, bada boom. Io still looks great with the title. I'm excited. I'm mainly excited to see where,
because Payback is next pay-per-view. I think that's the beginning of September. So
I have a feeling they do Io Bayley first, and then maybe they do like Io Asuka.
I can see them doing like a triple threat, or maybe even like a fatal 4-way. They can probably do that SummerSlam rematch and then throw Io in there, or maybe like Io Asuka Charlotte. Because was Bianca on SmackDown this week? I don't know if was she on SmackDown. I'm not sure. Because she kayfabe got hurt in the match, like the knee injury. So I don't know if they're kind of just still selling that. Maybe giving her a little time off. I don't remember her being on SmackDown. I could be wrong. But yeah, I can imagine. I feel like Io Bayley is like, that's too big for like a payback. I feel like if that's gonna happen, that's gotta be a big like a Survivor Series maybe, or like
but bigger than Io Asuka.
No, I'm saying like if you're gonna break up Damage Control, like that's such a like they plan the seeds for so long. I feel like that the payoff for that isn't gonna be at a payback. I feel like you're gonna wait a few more months.
The payoff isn't gonna be at payback.
I mean, I could be wrong. 2 weeks away, a little more than 2 weeks away. No matches have been announced yet. I don't think so.
Interesting.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what they do there. But I mean, either way, I don't care who she faces as long as Io wins.
I know,
I'm
honestly.
fine with it.
Something that's not interesting, AJ Styles defeats Karrion Kross in what's hopefully the last of this feud.
This is the third time they fought, and Styles has won all 3 times.
Yeah, I don't have much to say
I saw this thing on Twitter about Karrion Kross, about how it's kind of like, so he's been on the main roster for over a year now, and he's like, his win-loss record is just abysmal. Like, he's just whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But like in every feud that he's been in, it's kind of like, I don't want to compare it to Bray Wyatt when he was the Fiend, where it's like you fight someone and like you say like this is gonna happen, and then like over the term it has happened. Like he said, like Drew McIntyre, like he goes, you're like, he said something in the sense of like you're gonna like turn on your friends, whatever, blah 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 blah. Turned on Sheamus, which led to like their WrestleMania thing, whatever. Something with Madcap Mott said like you're gonna like, he was like a face at the time, saying like you're gonna lose like the fun out of it, whatever, and then he turned into a bad guy. It was like every feud that he's been a part of, it's like he said something's gonna happen and it has happened. Yeah. So people are saying like, oh, long-term storytelling, like it's kind of building up. I don't know. I don't believe it. I mean, Triple H, I mean, he's been a good booker, but also he has also like made some bad booking decisions as well.
In terms of like returns or call-ups,
he's definitely on the bottom.
He's definitely
bottom tier for sure. He just hasn't like his debut was great when he interrupted Drew Roman. It was the whole like Roman's time, and people are saying like he's going to be the one to like end Roman streak because he came out with that. That's no way, absolutely not happening. Yeah, I think people are kind of holding on, like hoping that he turns around. I think like something's there. Like he's obviously got the look. Like he's a big dude. Like he's like got tattoos and stuff. He's got a cool like entrance, manager, whatever. There's definitely something there, but just the booking is not good.
I mean, I also like
he's boring.
That's what I'm saying. I also didn't know him in NXT, so like my real exposure to him has just been the main. I got
in Impact Wrestling. His name was Killer Kross. He was a fucking demon, bro. He was crazy in Impact Wrestling, and then NXT he was good too. But he's proven that he's like a really like good character, and he can be a really good like champion, whatever. He was the NXT champion. He just hasn't done shit on the main roster.
Might be time for him to maybe see if Impact is still hiring. I don't know. Did you see the I guess you can call it a botch. I just had it up.
Yeah,
it looked like, I mean, he went
to do the flip, like the backwards flip, and he catches him and does like the reverse DDT.
Yeah, I'm not a professional here, but it looks like Karrion's maybe sandbagging a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know. This didn't really seem like it was on AJ. And AJ just
it's tough too because Karrion Kross is much bigger than AJ. So like Karrion Kross really needs to help him out there. AJ can't really do that himself. Yeah.
I mean and he just fucking
AJ did what he could there. Yeah, I mean that was a tough feud. I mean, it was so boring. He fought Carl Anderson last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, who was like even more boring than Karrion Kross, which is crazy. I hope the feud's over because it just hasn't been interesting.
And also, I just want more I honestly could give a shit about Karrion Kross,
AJ,
but I mean, AJ.
What are they doing? They're wasting his time right now because God knows how much more he has left in the tank, how many more years he wants to wrestle. Take advantage of it. He's got to be in his late 40s.
Play the game, 46.
Yeah, I mean, could he still go for a few years? Of course, but like also like he has a family and a wife and stuff.
Sure.
I doubt.
You also don't want to see AJ Styles having like struggle years. You want to see him go out.
Wrestlers have pride. They want to go out when they're still good. Mm-hmm. Once like things start to go bad, they don't want to be remembered.
Well, a lot of them.
Some that does happen. That does happen a lot, but hopefully not with AJ.
The Edge segment. Edge heads pop out. Next week will be his 25-year anniversary. This was cool. Edge challenges Sheamus for next week.
Cool story.
Yeah, just a big show of respect and kind of just like, I think Edge was saying like, you're a big reason why I came back and like you helped train me and all this stuff. And like you could tell just like from two veterans here, two legends.
Even Sheamus, he was like at a bar. He goes, I was in 2004. They were in Ireland, like doing a tour. Bunch of you guys came to the bar and I'm like trying to, talk to people and no one was giving me time of day, but like you were the only one that like gave me advice and whatever. And that gave me the confidence to pursue this career and stuff. So you can definitely tell there's a lot of mutual respect and like definitely like a brotherhood between them.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was something where it was like, I mean, I imagine Edge has so much creative control at this point. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it was like, who would you side? Speculation is that we're at the start of his last run.
I've heard that this could be his last match. People are saying that because his trainer said because in an interview last year, Edge said noted about being in Canada and wanted to end it in his hometown.
That's true, they are in
stuff.
Canada,
but I feel everyone's different when it comes to stuff. It doesn't feel like the end, but at the same time, it's Edge has been back for over 3 years now, which is crazy to think about. And it's he's older. He's definitely older than AJ Styles. Let's play the game again. I'm going to say 49. 49. Yeah. It's I don't know. It comes to the point, and some guys just want to go out. They don't want the big retirement tour and stuff that. So
he's not going to win.
I hope not. I mean,
I don't know. I
want him to win another world championship.
I want him to.
I want him to win the World Heavyweight Championship so bad. I think that would have been such a cool way to close everything out.
But then because then he has the title, and then he needs to go on a little run. So it's that's so much time.
Right.
Who knows? I don't know. I would be shocked if that's his going away match. Too. It would, like you said, it is against a fellow veteran
who he's never faced before. It's never first time ever.
It is in his hometown.
It would make sense, but I think everyone's hopeful that it's not his last match.
Sheamus pulls Edge in and he says, "Just hope you didn't make a mistake." So this is, again, I have a feeling it might be something where it's backstage. They're okay, we're starting your little not going away thing, but whatever. Who do you got? And Edge probably said, I've never faced Sheamus. Sheamus is my buddy. I'd love to face Sheamus. That's kind of how I read this.
Sure.
Other than that, there's no real reason why it's Sheamus.
Yeah, there have been no seeds or anything pointing towards him retiring, nothing like that. Yeah,
I don't know.
We'll see. I bet it's going to be a great match. That's for sure.
LA Knight defeats Top Dolla. Speaking of great matches, just another W in the LA Knight column. Just nothing, just
another W.
Not much else. Not much else to
gave his promo at the end. Doesn't matter if I'm on SmackDown or Raw. Doesn't matter if you say you're awesome. Everyone knows who game it is. LA Knight. I also love Michael Cole. Whenever Top Dolla is out, Michael Cole shits on them. So, I think it stems back from remember when he had that botch? He tried to flip it all? Michael Cole just shits on
him. He'll never live it down.
It's so funny. And just the whole also calling him Uncle Phil, LA Knight calling him Uncle Phil and stuff like that.
I missed that.
Priceless. He called him in a few weeks ago. He goes, I knew Will Smith was in the game. I know Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil was a rapper too. And he always makes those jokes. It's pretty fucking funny. All right. I think this is your segment. Go ahead, sir.
This is where I want to get to. United States Championship. Austin Theory attacks Santos backstage and on the ramp, leaving him unable to compete. Rey Mysterio says, I'll take your place. Or he didn't say that, but Adam Pearce was, Rey can take your place, whatever. In pretty quick fashion.
Yeah, convincing.
Rey Mysterio defeats Austin Theory to become your new United States champion. Are you fucking kidding me? Age 49. 2023. Rey Mysterio has a world or a championship. He's the new United States championship. Let's fucking go. I don't give a shit.
So I was
he won with the 619.
His finishing move.
Finisher.
One of the more popular finishing moves in history.
As the WWE calls it, and it's not even to be disputed anymore. It's like saying the sky is green.
Hey, you don't have to tell me about it, brother. I'm on your side. So I was out that night and I go on Twitter just to recap going through seeing the results, whatever. And it said Rey Mysterio is the United States champion. I'm like, what? I missed
so much. Shout out everyone was so I saw it late too. I think I was out too, and I had it recorded, so I watched later in the night. And people were tweeting at me bro, Rey just won. But sorry, go ahead.
So I was shocked to see that. I mean, so what I get from two things I'm getting from this. One, when Rey got hurt a few weeks ago, he was meant to win the whole time. I feel like when he got hit, they said he got a concussion.
Yeah,
or something
at first
like that.
there was reports of it being not a real injury, and then it was.
Was it real or not? So that's what. If it was real, I'm saying.
Which I think it at this point. I think
I'm more convinced it was real. I mean, if you look back, he definitely hit his head.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear that he did. If it was a real injury, he was meant to win that match and was meant to win this the entire time and leading up to it. He got cleared and they're like, all right, Santos, obviously you won that match, but like we're gonna swap it out. Or if it wasn't a real injury, this could be like planting seeds for like a feud, which I hope not, because like LWO is still very brand new, and it's like I feel like there's so much more to be told there.
Yeah, everyone immediately jumped to Santos and Rey beef,
right?
And like, granted, like, you know, I know he just won the title, and I get it. It makes sense for, you know, Santos to be jealous or like, you know, you took my spot. Naturally. I get it. I'm kind of with you. I don't see a reason. I mean, Rey and Santos would be fucking sick.
I do think they'll have a match for the United States Championship out of like that respect thing, but
I just don't know if it's going to be.
Why? Like, you just started, you're making it a big deal and stuff like that. It's way too early to start building cracks and all that stuff.
And also Rey being like the leader of it and giving like everyone else the rub.
That's what I'm saying. If you take Rey out of LWO, like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but like you lose a ton of credibility if he's out of it.
And and I don't, it's just, it's not to the people in it, but it's just to WWE, where if Rey's out of it, there's no shot WWE is still pushing.
The reason why they made it, like, he was the like when it all started, like, he's the one that came to them, like, he was like the center of it all, you know what I mean? So it's like, you take the leader out, then what are you left with?
I'd be down for another friendly handshake match.
Right.
I mean, unless they do a Santos heel turn, I don't know.
I mean, they could, but I think it's way too early. Like, eventually, sure, but not now.
Have Rey have a couple defenses and
maybe like at the beginning of next year, and once 2024 comes around, you can do it.
You know, it's actually like, I kind of hope they do, because it'd be like, we haven't seen like a faction of 4 people, and one guy has like championship potential or is a champion, and one guy is always behind the scenes and he's like really like, oh, I'm jealous and we're gonna feud, and like, we haven't seen that in a long time, except for every single week on Monday and for Judgment Day.
Yeah, that's fair.
That was kind of the joke I was building to. But
that's fair.
But now there's speculation of, could we do Dom versus Rey? Dom's got the North American title. The United States is in North America.
That is true. That people do say that. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I mean, they definitely. I mean, Rey's been on NXT the last few weeks too, kind of like in Dragon Lee's corner and stuff, because he was going up against Dom, kind of like, you know, talking to some of the younger talent, all that. Definitely could. If they do that match, for the love of God, I pray it's not like some sort of like title versus title unification.
Yeah, I was to say, people are saying unification.
Don't do that. Yeah. No, you already did that with the women's tag team titles in NXT. Like, keep that.
Wait, isn't the North American title also already unified? Like,
technically speaking, it's that,
not unified,
and then the cruiserweight championship.
It absorbed the cruiserweight, or the UK cruiserweight, right? Or the UK something, right?
I think just the cruiserweight.
Maybe just the cruiserweight.
Someone will correct us. I think it was just the cruiserweight. Regardless.
Imagine the North American title just absorbing titles.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like the North American title also, like, it has a pretty good lineage, like a great lineage, like Adam Cole, Ricochet, Wesley just had arguably the greatest run.
And Carmelo Hayes.
Like, there's a great lineage behind it. I understand why the NXT Women's Championships got absorbed, because like they didn't have a strong enough division in NXT to kind of build up those titles. I get that, but the North American Championship, you take that away, all you have left for the men's is the World Championship, and then like they have the Heritage Cup now, which isn't a title, it's just a big trophy, which is from NXT UK, so it kind of just carried over. You don't get rid of that title. That's like that. It's kind of like
a good looking title.
It's one of the best looking titles in WWE. It's the Intercontinental / United States Championship of NXT, because it's one of those titles that it elevates the person to the next level. Like, Wesley is now competing for the NXT championship. Obviously, Adam Cole won it, and he's one of the greatest NXT championships ever. Carmelo Hayes, another. It's a great example of what the Intercontinental Championship is now, where it elevates you to that main event scene. Don't get rid of that. That's ridiculous. I'd be open to a match with Rey and Dom. I think they obviously had that one match at Mania. I think before, maybe we talked about them having like maybe like a trilogy type of thing, like Rey wins and Dom wins, and like there was talks about doing like a hair versus mask like stipulation thing. I'd be open to that, but like don't be putting titles on the line.
It feels like if they jump right to Rey and Dom, it just kind of feels like we took the easy route. We didn't know what else to do.
They could build it up. You know? There's definitely something there, and they can continue to build it up.
Tease it, but like Dom is already doing. I mean, he was in Judgment Day anyway, or was he in Judgment Day during Rey versus Dom? Yeah,
he was. Right? Yeah.
Judgment Day's killing it. Dom's over there doing his thing. Mm-hmm. Let that be that. And then now Rey has a whole new thing with, LA Knight is still sniffing for the US title. So we could, it's this,
right.
this, it doesn't
There's too much other stuff going on right now.
I also just don't like that. Then that would be Judgment Day infused with like yet another storyline. It's like they're
LWO and
right.
Yeah,
so I don't know. I'm kind of let's keep it separate for now.
They're both going their own ways. Let Dom do his thing. Let Rey do his thing. And if they meet up again down the line, sure.
They don't need to. What Dom has proven is like, he's finally now coming into his own. Mm-hmm. He doesn't always need to. Not everything Dom does needs to be like turned back to Rey now, which I get it. He did have involvement with like the Dragon Lee thing, blah blah blah. But I don't know.
You don't have to force it.
I'm down for it in the future, but exactly, I think that's the whole thing. You don't gotta force it. Bloodline segment. Interesting. Jimmy comes out. He's with Roman and he's explaining. Or Roman's like, I owe you one. Thank you. And he's all like cocky about it. Jimmy's like, I didn't do it for you. Jay comes out and Jay's like threatening, like, I'm ready to throw away however old they are, years of brotherhood, if you don't tell me why you didn't do that. Da-da-da. Jimmy explains he cost the match for Jay's benefit. He sees what being the tribal chief did to Roman, and he didn't want that to happen to his brother because he loves him and blah, blah, blah. So just on that, and then we'll kind of get into everything else that happened.
I don't want to be the guy being like, oh yeah, I knew that was going to happen type of thing. But like, I felt like that was the easy explanation, and that's kind of
I thought easy would have been jealous.
I thought that made sense. Like, it makes sense, but it makes too much sense in the sense of like, if Jay won, Jimmy was afraid like, oh, you're the tribal chief, you're gonna become the manipulator, you're gonna become the narcissist, this and that. But like, I feel like, I don't know, not that I don't like it, I just think that it
well, I like that they went this route as opposed to just like, I'm jealous because I didn't,
right. Yeah, I get it. I think it was a little too predictable for me. I think that's where I'm lying at right now, because so far the Bloodline storyline, like, it's been very unpredictable. Like all these segments, like Jay turning on Roman, like you thought it was gonna be he turned on Jimmy, and then obviously Jimmy taken out before SummerSlam. There's so much in this story has been just surprising out of left field. This I felt was a little predictable. And also just like the end of everything is I'm interested to see how this is going to play out with what happened afterwards with Jay, super kicking Jimmy.
But even I think even if they did if they leaned more into like the Jimmy actually did it out of jealousy and he was mad, maybe that's what they will turn into. Because everyone's doing like, it's going to be Jay versus Jimmy. That would have planted more seeds of like, if they want to do the feud, that would have planted more seeds for the feud. But
I feel like it's kind of a pussy excuse to be like, hey, like, I did it because I don't want you to become him. Like, what? Like, I don't know. I get it. It makes sense, but I just don't know if I'm fully on board with that explanation.
So Jay avoids Roman's spear with a super kick, and then Jay spears Roman.
Jay's got Roman's number, man.
This is my whole thing. Jay has been kicking Roman's ass.
I'll be honest
for like 2 or 3 weeks.
I don't know if I'm liking how much of Roman's ass he's
Jay
kicking,
is
because
kicking Roman's ass.
He's making Roman look like a little bitch compared to Jay. I'm being serious. He's making him look weak.
He had him, even like the weeks following up to SummerSlam, like it was similar things where Jay would hit Roman with a spear or a super kick, whatever, and he had him beat at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I know. They're really.
And then on SmackDown, Roman can't get the spear off. He gets hit with a super kick and a spear, and he's laid out.
Yeah.
Jay is kicking his
and taking
ass.
Solo out.
Jay is
too,
and he took Solo out. Jay is the strongest.
Credit
in
to
WWE.
Jay. They're building him up like a monster.
So anyone that's, I don't know. This is why it goes to the point. It's like this is why it would have made sense if I'm not gonna get on the train just to sit here and just be like, Jay should have won. Jay should have won. Jay should have won. But like, he's kicking the guy's ass.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, There's stuff. I know, and I don't know how I feel about it. They're making Roman look a little weak here. It looks like he can't beat
1000%.
I know.
1000%.
But it's like just how everything's been leading up to this point. I'm surprised that like it's still leading up to SummerSlam. I get that. Like it's leading up to the big match. Afterwards, they're still doing this. Like, damn, bro, they're like really like making a point out of this. Like, they really fucking are.
He goes to embrace Jimmy on the ramp.
Come here.
And instead, he super kicks Jimmy instead.
Meme worthy. I love that.
And he says, "I'm out of the bloodline. I'm out of SmackDown. I'm out of WWE. Deuces,
ooses." And I love his little, when he walks away, does like the little strut. Yeah. So he did it when him and Roman were in the ring a few weeks ago, whatever. I love that so much.
He leaves through the crowd, a la CM Punk, Money in the Bank. Not the same thing, but so the rumor is that this means, obviously, there's not a whole lot of advertisements for like so-and-so's next week.
I don't think any of the Bloodlines advertised for SmackDown this week, yeah.
So the rumor is that they might be taking a little break from the Bloodline story, which, say what you will, I'm kind of on a similar page of you where like, I like I don't know. I mean, granted, it's hard to keep speculating whatever, so we don't know what the next thing that happens, but I think ultimately I like it. The main reason I like it, because like I said, I think I'm on the same page of you as like the Jay beating the shit out of Roman each week is confusing.
Let's cool it down a little bit.
Jay,
just a tad bit.
The Jay and Jimmy stuff is also confusing and doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
And also they have to I feel like they have to extend that out a little bit too. Because we're talking about when that match is going to be. Maybe it's a trilogy or something, but like you have 8 months until WrestleMania, so you got some time.
So again, this is just I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but I hope this does mean they're taking a break from it, because we've gotten years, and I mean, you know, everyone said it's been 3 years, but like to the degree it's been at, year and a half of like that the weekly.
Well, I'd say like Sami, since Sami kind of got thrown in 100%.
Right, it's been every single week,
which has been great.
It's been amazing.
But we get to a point where you gotta cool off a little bit.
The name of the last week's episode is the Bloodline Story stale.
And man, oh man, did we have people in the comments arguing with us?
We had
some support. We had some people that were.
So I think a lot of people think it's kind of getting.
That's what's so great about the story, is that you have so many different perspectives, so many different opinions about it.
But I hope they're taking a break. 'Cause I think of this as like a season of TV.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Like this entire third inning, I guess, has been going on, and they're at a point where it's like, okay, like that chapter, that season of the Bloodline story is over.
We're going into the fourth inning now.
Right.
Thank God.
Let's take a break.
Yep.
Let's take a break until season 2 comes out.
Sure.
So like, I honestly wouldn't even like.
It is a TV show. At the end of the day,
saying.
It is a TV show.
Take like 1 or 2 months off from the Bloodline. I don't want to see.
You think that much, really?
I think that's what they're gonna do.
I think a good month. would be good. It would be refreshing.
Yeah. I think at minimum a month.
Here's the thing too, and it's kind of been a meme on Twitter. You know how many fucking graphics, how many times they go, Roman Reigns returns to SmackDown, when it's he was just there a week ago or 2 weeks ago. It's like, bro, like he was just here. What do you mean he's returning?
This is his job. He's
like,
supposed to be
should be here. If you take like a solid month, even 2 months, like that whole Roman Reigns returns, that's a big deal. Like that makes it seem like, oh shit, like he's back now. Like some shit's gonna
or
go
even
down.
like they market it as like Roman's returning, or just like the Bloodline is. We'll see the next thing of the Bloodline.
Sure,
market it like the Bloodline.
The fourth inning of the Bloodline is coming in next week or something.
So I like as kind of confusing and a little bit of maybe jumbled and misplaced some things were in that segment. Ultimately, I like the idea of like it leaves on a cliffhanger. I think it's fun that like Jay's like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing with it, but Jay's out of the WWE. They even put him in the alumni page.
I was gonna tell you. So I will say too. So they put him in the alumni page, and people are so quick to jump on these things. Apparently, Jey Uso's contract is up in like a month or something like that.
Oh, so
now everyone is saying like, oh,
Jey Uso's all elite.
He actually left. No, I've seen the graphic saying it was like main event, whatever his real name is all elite, and I'm like, bro, let's first of all. With everything that they've done for Jay and WWE and like Roman's stance in the company,
would be insane.
That would be career suicide if he did. Like,
you know how much money he's leaving on the table if he,
dude, like his next whenever he does sign a new contract, he's gonna get paid a shit ton more than what he was before. And all credit to Roman for putting him on that platform. But people are so quick to jump on that stuff. Let's take our let's take our fantasy caps off.
Sure.
Here. Let's take our I wanted to think of a more funny term for it.
I get what you're getting.
You
at,
get what I'm getting. There's a term. There's something I read it on Twitter. I don't know. But like, take your fantasy caps off. Let's come back to reality and understand that this is a storyline. Like this, I'm
coming from someone who booked the Rock for.
That's happening. All right, damn it. No, but I think it's just like separate, like take out all the all elite fantasy shit. Like this is, I like where they're heading with this. Like it'll be a shocking moment when Jay does return, whenever that may be. Take a little time off the bloodline, let it cool off a little bit, bring it back whenever. I don't know if I agree with 2 months, but have it be gone for a few weeks, so maybe a month, and then we'll pick it back up.
Another positive of this is now, because a big criticism of, as of lately that I've seen with the Bloodline is that, it'll take up the first half hour of the show, and it'll take up the whole hour of the show.
Dude, I forget which I don't know which show it was leading up to SummerSlam, but they literally took up like 45 minutes, an hour of SmackDown. That's crazy.
So now
it's great TV, but
now I think. And this is, again, what people kind of saying, where now, if it's taking a break, now they have more time to focus on bigger stars. Now they have time for, EO, they can work on EO's,
Rey.
Hopefully a monumental run. They got Rey as the new champ. They got LA Knight. So they have the material. They have what they need. And also, it's time for, stars to step up, because there's this big... Bloodline hole to fill.
AJ Styles. Throw him in the mix. Guys like that. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. They weren't on SmackDown this week.
I think they had a little... Because you're on Raw or SmackDown. They had a little backstage little segment. I forget what it was. But yeah, so it's another reason why I like the cool off from the Bloodline for a little bit. Build up your other stars. Get some fun storylines for them.
Yeah.
Return to the Bloodline for the next season.
Right.
Especially because I'm very convinced this isn't ending anytime soon, this Bloodline story.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last week, I know.
Whether it's to this Mania or to next Mania.
Did you see what Kurt Angle said? I think it was his podcast. He was on a podcast. He was just like, Paul Heyman's bullshitting. He goes, bottom of the third, my ass. Like, he goes, you're in the 8th inning and you're scared right now. And so I don't know if he was playing into the storyline. I think it was I think he was like trying to be funny, like playing into the story, like 3rd inning, my ass. Like you're in the 8th inning.
There are a lot of people at this point that are like, oh, it's almost like when Game of Thrones passed the books. We're like, so now
they just started adding shit.
Oh, we just gotta keep writing. We just gotta keep laying the train tracks so the train can keep going.
I don't think that's what they're doing. I definitely think this is very still drawn out. I genuinely think that they know the ending to this, and they have.
Oh, I'm a little more in the camp where I think they thought an ending was going to happen a couple months ago, but then they realized, oh, we're making the most money possible.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, but I think what I believe is that they know who's going to end the reign.
That I agree. I agree with that.
They already know. I mean, is it Cody? Is it someone else? Like whatever.
Who knows?
But I think they know who's going to end it. Sure. I will say maybe along the way. Obviously with Sami Zayn and stuff like that. Going back to this. Was the story was he was gonna get brought in, do a few things with them? Yes. There's no way they expected it to get as popular as he did. I don't think they expected him to be in the Bloodline, to be drawn out all the way to Rumble, Elimination Chamber even. Maybe that was they fell on something. They just found that and it was perfect. Maybe they're along the way they're trying to fill in the gaps here and there. Maybe they ran out of an idea right now. That's why they're taking a little bit of a break and they're going to pick it back up. But I do think they at least know the ending to this and when it's going to end and stuff. But along the way, there's some gaps they have to fill.
Oh fuck, we got Jey Uso leaves WWE. I don't know. Jey Uso. That's that.
That'll be interesting. I'm curious to see what direction they go down for that. Obviously, it's going to be Jay versus Jimmy at some point. Also, I don't know if you saw this. So I don't know what this was for, but Rikishi is doing this meet and greet.
Oh, I saw something, right?
And on it said meet him before he's the special guest referee at Payback.
I saw something like that.
And he tweeted, he was like, it was a misprint, there's some confusion or whatever.
I mean, if anyone from the family is gonna come back, I always thought Rikishi.
It would be him, but Payback's 2 weeks away. Jey Uso just left WWE. If Jey Uso comes back, it's I'm back. And then we're a match in 2 weeks. That's kind of that's so there. Forced. You know what I mean? I definitely think that will happen. If they have the match at WrestleMania, Rikishi special guest referee, like all for it. That would make sense. But yeah, I thought that was interesting that they're kind of like, whether it was an actor or not, they're kind of like planting the seeds at least for something like that.
So what you're saying is the misprint is Rikishi is supposed to be The Rock.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. They actually meant to say meet Rikishi because of The Rock, who's returning for WrestleMania next year. Exactly. Yeah.
Monday Night Raw, Judgment Day come out with Finn. They come out without Finn. More just cracks. I don't know. I'm getting tired of it.
It's like it starts with cracks and it ends with them being, together.
They'll start the show with cracks and then they'll do all these sick tag team moves and they're on the same page and they're all standing tall. I don't know. Just steer into it one way or the other. JD McDonough comes out. Rhea kind of reiterates how he's not in the group. We don't need to listen to you. Sami Zayn runs out, attacks him, starts the match. Sami defeats JD McDonough. So they're bringing JD back. Him and Finn seem pretty buddy. It's like it seems less of like him trying to get Finn out, but like JD wants in. JD wants to be the right hand man to Finn.
Right, exactly. He wants to be the Jey Uso to Finn Balor.
So I mean, this is cool. It's just more Judgment Day stuff.
Before we get into it, so Survivor Series is 3 months away. Okay. September, October, November, 3 months away. War Games. Is it's not officially confirmed, but I think it's becoming like an annual match.
I would imagine
at Survivor Series, right? I saw a tweet about this. Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, and JD versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins. That would be fucking sick. That would be fucking sick. I do miss the days when they would have world champ versus world champ, Intercontinental versus United States, because I love to see Roman versus Seth. But I don't think. I don't know if that really fits in with what's going on with Roman and stuff like that.
And the brand split's non-existent.
It's so non-existent anymore.
And also, like, I like the idea of it, but then after you watch Survivor Series, most of the time you're like, nothing happened. Because it's all champ versus champ.
Exactly. So there's no like development.
Granted, with
no
storylines
and stuff. Yeah, there's history there, but there's no like storyline developments, no like whatever. And two, like if they do that, I mean, I'm looking 3 months ahead at this point. Like Damian Priest is still Money in the Bank and stuff. Seth's still a world champ. That could something could happen there. Sure. You know what I mean? So I think, but that would make sense because everyone's kind of tied into. Cody's now tied into this. Seth's been roped into this Judgment Day stuff, obviously with Finn and all that.
I mean, if they're gonna, there's no other group there is no other group like the Judgment Day.
Who else would be in the War Games?
And they did Bloodline last year, so it's like, and now Bloodline is just basically Roman and Solo and kind of Jimmy, but not really.
There's not enough people for that. Exactly. So I saw someone tweet cool. that, and I was like, it's not because 3 months from now, like JD is still kind of in the loop. Like maybe he's not in the group, but he's like, you guys need one more member. Like I'll be in there for you guys, type of thing.
Well, and I mean, who knows? Seth might not be the champ at that point.
Seth might not be the champ.
So maybe that's freed up.
Maybe Damian. Who knows? But yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting.
I never thought of that.
But if there is War Games, what other group besides the Judgment Day is going to be in it? So I thought that was a pretty cool thing.
Chad Gable defeats Giovanni Vinci.
Chad.
As of that episode of Raw, Gunther is 25 days away from breaking the IC title record.
Yes, he is.
They did some Maxine and Ludwig stuff, which is really funny. I like that. Gunther challenges Otis afterward. Gunther defeats Otis. It's just a whole. I guess I'll just finish it out and then we can kind of talk about it. Gunther actually power bombs Otis at the end. Gunther won. Gable suplexes Gunther to kind of send Imperium away. Alpha Academy standing tall. I like this. I mean, obviously Chad and Gunther is such a sick feud.
Yep.
But they're doing a good job of intertwining also like Imperium versus Alpha Academy with like Maxine and Otis stuff. Yep. And I'm enjoying
Everyone's
this.
involved. Everyone's involved somewhere.
I'm enjoying this. I think Maxine has been doing great work.
She's improved a lot.
It was cool to see. It's cool to see Otis versus Gunther. I mean, he still did comedy stuff, but it was cool to see him be portrayed as just like a big body slapping guy.
He's a big big boys slapping meat.
So this is great. Gunther and Chad is that next week?
Next week.
Wow.
So this is what. So because of that, I think Chad isn't going to win the title next week.
Yeah.
I think if it was like Payback or something like that, maybe it's like, okay, they could pull that shocking upset. But because I think they'd have to be closer to the record being told now, because next week you're 18 days away. I think that's kind of lackluster. You know what I mean? What I do think though is that Chad will win via DQ or something like that. So it's kind of like Gunther pinned him a few weeks ago, so he has the 1 win on him. Chad disqualification, technically 1 win over him. You have the rubber match. You have the third match. Where that would be, could it be Payback? Maybe. Could it be? They actually are having a live event in India in September, I believe. Oh. And I think it's either the day of or the day after the record would be broken. If you don't mind looking that up. They did it a few years ago. They had an event in India.
Just kind of pulled up a hole.
I don't know if they would have it. Yeah, just look up WWE India event.
WWE India event.
Returns to India this September.
Oh, it's just like a
Superstar Spectacle. Yeah, they did this years ago.
It's basically like a house show. Type
of thing. Yeah. So September 8th.
Forgot they did that. Wow.
So I think that's right around the time the record. I think it's past the point of the record being broken. So people are saying it could be then, because in front of a big audience, like you don't go to India a lot, so the crowd reaction would be insane.
Yeah.
But
this is like it's kind of like how they did it the first time, though. It's like it's just a glorified house show,
right?
So like I'd kind of rather. Gunther
you see people on the cover on the poster that like I don't know what his name is. I know he's Shaggy out shape.
It's definitely not. Yeah, Shanky.
Shanky. Like they're like Natalia's on there and
Gunther
stuff.
Gunther is
like,
weirdly small on for being the IC champion. He's awfully small.
Yeah, Seth Rollins is definitely taken. Him and Drew are definitely taking over that poster. So
who's this doing a backflip? Is that Rey? Who is that?
Oh, is that Chad?
I don't know who that is. I can't tell.
Oh, is that
Braun? It might be. I think it's Braun Breaker. Who's the thing's in the way? Looks like Braun Breaker.
That is Braun Breaker. What the fuck?
That's weird.
That is very weird. Okay. So yeah, there's a few events coming up. There's a few events coming up that they could pull the trigger on that. At this point, I think Gunther is going to break the record. I mean, if you're this close to it, like just
also
do
like why fall short of Honky Tonk Man? Just
it would be even bigger if Chad won it right before he broke the, like if it was like Payback. Let's say Payback is 2 days before the record breaks. That would be pretty fucking massive if he won it. But like,
I would just
I'm more in the camp of Gunther breaking the record and then losing it. You're that close to history, and Gunther is arguably. I know he's only held the title once. He has probably the greatest reign of all time, and just with this one reign, is going to go down as one of the best IC champions ever.
Yeah.
So give him that recognition, give him that he deserves it. He turned the IC title into what people may think is just as valuable as a world championship because of what he's done with the belt. Let him break the record. He deserves it. Let him break the record.
Yeah, and like you said, I would love Chad, even if like
he'll win it. I think Chad will win the belt eventually.
Even if like Chad even if Chad loses clean on Monday or whatever, and then in a month or two return to it, and then maybe Chad wins another qualification match. I don't know. There's a lot of things they can do.
Maybe it's like he loses. It's like you have a storyline of him like working towards that next rematch. Like next time we fight, like I'm gonna beat you this time. Right. Like you
comes
can work
back,
around
beats
it.
him. Yeah, I'm down for it. Yeah, I'm all in on the Chad Gable stuff, and also it's made me like Alpha Academy a lot more.
1000%.
Boom, 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 boom. Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle defeat Viking Raiders. Backstage, Riddle was kind of annoying Drew to be his partner. Drew wasn't very hyped about it. The match is whatever. Drew and Riddle win. Backstage, New Day challenge Drew and Riddle next week to a match as the New Day kind of want to work their way back up to the world or the WWE Tag Team Championships. Baby. So it was what it was.
It is what it was.
I love seeing the New Day back. I love them putting a spotlight back on the tag titles. Like we're going after them. I mean, say what you will about Kevin and Sami. Granted, injuries hasn't helped. Not the most prestigious of runs.
They started off strong, and then things kind of simmered down. What I'm getting from this they have to pull the trigger on a Drew McIntyre heel run. he needs to turn on.
That'd be sick.
I tweeted this during the show. Like, I actually thought like that would have happened in that match because like they're kind of like I feel like they're kind of like planting seeds of a Drew McIntyre heel turn, which I think needs to happen. Drew is phenomenal. He's one of the best in-ring performers the company has. But his character has gone a little flat. Not to his fault. I mean, he was gone for a little bit and stuff, but I feel like
he felt super refreshed against Gunther, but then the fallout hasn't been
like he
much.
Was in the main event of a stadium show against Roman Reigns. You know, and it's like he's a big deal. He like obviously has been a face for a long time. He came back on the main roster as a heel. He's a great face, don't get me wrong. Like he like obviously like outside the ring and stuff, he does a lot of like charity stuff, does a lot of stuff with like, you know, all the like makeaway, whatever they do on the with kids, all that stuff. But let me tell you something, he'd be a fucking great heel too. I mean, he just has the look. He
already has the sword.
He already has I mean, he can just chop someone's head off with the sword, you know what I mean? And I think Riddle would be a good guy to turn heel on just because I feel like he would get a good reaction because I think people are kind of like want Riddle to get kicked in the face and shit like that, you know. But
he's just like the silly baby face, so it's like he can be the one to take the fall.
Exactly.
I was like, imagine like not brooding, but I guess brooding, like dark Drew. He comes out in like black and red, and he's like, and you know, angry and shit.
And if they do that, bring back the old theme song, "Broken Dreams."
Oh, that'd be sick.
Like, oh my god, that would be so. They teased it when at Clash of the Castle, bro. It's a goated theme song. It's such a goated theme song. I need a Drew McIntyre heel run.
I'm with
so bad.
Rhea Ripley defeats Indi Hartwell in also kind of like another match just to get Rhea over, but Candice LeRae and Indi Hartwell beat down Rhea after the match. Maybe planting seed for some Rhea versus Candice LeRae.
I like different people being thrown in the mix here.
Yeah, it's kind of my takeaway from it. We haven't really seen a whole lot of Candice LeRae.
Yep.
So
I think Indi Hartwell has been hurt over the last few months, so I think that's why she hasn't been around. And Candice LeRae, I just imagine they didn't really have much going on for her. But I like a new batch of opponents for Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, I like the idea. You know, I've enjoyed Rhea's run, but a lot of it hasn't been because of matches. She's just like feels dominant, had great promos, and
she feels like the leader of the Judgement Day.
Right. But yeah, like kind of like you were saying, I like the idea of like different competitors. I mean, they did kind of get the upper hand on her, beat her down. So there's at least it doesn't feel, because we've had like Rhea squash or essentially squash matches. So like, you know, I don't know. It'd be cool to, I don't know. I'm curious where they're going to go with this, but I don't have much else to say other than let's see what happens.
Yep.
Shinsuke Nakamura delivers a promo with Michael Cole, or Michael Cole's interviewing, whatever, in the ring. About 90% of Shinsuke's promo was delivered in Japanese, which I thought was really cool. Seth comes out. He's like, let me take over for Cole. They have a really good back and forth. My takeaway was these two feel huge next to each other. Like it feels like a big match. They shake hands.
Icons.
Yeah. They shake hands. Shin whispers something in Seth's ear that leaves him fucking shook. Shin ends up laying out Seth with a Kinshasa. I loved everything about this.
I did too.
I love heel Shin. This feels rejuvenated. I love that Shin is a big deal again. I'm just a huge Shinsuke fan.
Yeah, me and you both.
But yeah, I think this is gonna be sick. I don't know if he's gonna lose to Seth. I would love for Shin to beat Seth. I would love to see. Shin would look so sick with that title.
He would look good with that title. He would. Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about this. I'm kind of in the camp of like, would I like to see Shin win? Yeah, because I think he's very deserving of a world champion. He's been deserving of a world championship ever since he stepped foot in the company. He should have beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania 34. One of the biggest missed opportunities in the last X amount of years. I do think it's a little like not too early, because he's been around, he deserves it, but like too early in the feud for something like that to have. I think it's just too quickly thrown, as well as it's been done, put together. I think it's too quickly put together. I just don't see Seth Rollins losing the championship to like a quick feud like this.
Sure.
I just still imagine him getting cashed in on by Damian. I that's just how I think that it's going to end.
He's
I'm
still
still in the camp.
He's still pretty intertwined with the Judgment Day.
Even though I thought it was going to happen at SummerSlam, I still think that is how it's going to ultimately end. Like, think about it. He wins the inaugural championship. How he has a great reign. He loses it because of a Money in the Bank cash in. Like, that's how he has to lose the belt. You know, that's just kind of how I envision it. And you have these great mini feuds along the way, like Shinsuke, you know, whoever could be next. But
I also think it
could be a shock. I mean, they do shocking wins, like championship wins.
You know, he, like you said, he is the inaugural champ, and the World Heavyweight Championship is supposed to be different.
It's the workhorse championship. You defend it a lot. It's easier to lose and stuff like that.
I don't think it'd be a bad thing for Seth to just lose, and then he goes into the fucking War Games match.
And there's no title involved, whatever. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be upset if Shinsuke won. I just think it makes more sense if Seth continues the reign. And if Seth was going to lose it, I thought I'm honestly so shocked he didn't lose it. SummerSlam, to be honest with you. So I do think he's still on borrowed time right now.
That's kind of why I'm a little like that would have been the time, and I think we agree where he probably should have lost it to Finn.
Yeah.
But since he didn't do that, it does seem like it's less of a story for him to lose it to Shin.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, it would still be cool to win.
So I'm saying, I'll be honest, I'm rooting for him.
I'm a Shin guy at heart. I love Shinsuke Nakamura. I want him to end up winning a world championship at some point. I just don't know if it'll happen this soon. I am curious what he whispered to Seth, though.
Yeah,
because obviously that's going to play a big part into all this.
Seth looked freaked out. Yeah, I don't know I have no idea.
No clue. So they're definitely going to fight a payback. That's 1,000% going to happen.
What I am nervous about is Shinsuke wins, Damian cash in.
Yeah, I think that would make sense too. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Becky versus Trish ends in a double countout. Really? I mean, this wasn't great. I don't know if I'd go that far.
I don't know, dude. This feud has just been so flat for me. Like, you have a legend in Trish Stratus, and you have Becky Lynch, who's arguably the greatest women's wrestler of this generation. And it's like, why are we doing shit? Like, I don't know. I feel like the match was hyped up. You got kicked off for SummerSlam. You're in Canada for this. Like, it should be a big match. And it's like the backstage stuff. Like that stuff is cool to see.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not. Maybe I shouldn't have done maybe I did one too many. But I just think it could have been like I thought it was going to be the main event match. I thought it was going to be like a actual like match between the two. Maybe my expectations were a little too high. Maybe I was just expecting too much. I don't know. The feud just hasn't. I feel like the feud should be hitting so much more, and it just doesn't hit for me. It just doesn't. It doesn't. The first match was they ended in 5 seconds in like a DQ because Zoe Stark got involved. This match, double count out. They're gonna have a steel cage match whenever they do that.
I was gonna say, so it does end up with Adam Pearce making it. They didn't. Yeah, I don't think they announced when, but Trish and Becky will be in a steel cage, kind of keep Zoe Stark out, whatever.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Because, you know, like you were saying, this was your hope. Kind of had expectations of this being the blow-off and this being the big one. Hopefully, you know, all these kind of like lackluster matches will lead to this cage match.
I hope, yeah.
And then maybe this cage match will be like this was the one, this was the good one for Trish to go out on and blah, blah, you know?
I've just been waiting for that big match between the two.
Sure.
And it's like we keep getting teased it. We keep saying it's happening here, it's happening in Canada, Trish Stratus' home country, and then this happens.
Yeah, you would think
it's disappointing. It's just disappointing.
You would think they would have pulled the trigger being, you know, in Canada, but I
don't know. That's just my opinion. People might not agree with it.
I'm also kind of like the Zoe. I get it. I liked the Zoe Stark involvement at the beginning because I think Zoe Stark's super talented.
Sure.
The rub is really cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
But at this point, when you just want to see legend Trish and Becky,
that was in May. She came out in May at Saudi Arabia. We're in August now, 3 months later. You know what I mean?
Hey, third inning.
Shut up. God, I hope it's the top of the 9.
But I have not high expectations, but I have hope. I don't know what the word is.
Optimism?
I'm optimistic. That's the word. I'm optimistic for the steel cage match. I could also see just it being some like
Zoe Stark starts climbing immediately when the match starts. You know, it's like I just don't know. I don't know what to think.
Cody Rhodes defeats Finn Balor. Fun TV match. These two are great workers. They work great together. Dom goes to pass Finn a chair, but the referee catches it. Now this was a little silly. Damian goes to pass Finn the briefcase, but slides it too viciously, and it slides under Finn's legs into the hands of Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes hits him with it, gets the win, and then there's a post-match Judgment Day beatdown. Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes, and they fucking beat them down. Coup de grace off everything.
Yeah. It's like, how do you go ending the match of Damian kind of screwing over Finn to them hugging at the end of the show and stuff?
Yeah.
I'm not that I'm not a fan of like the whole, like you can show cracks and like, oh, we're good now, because it's kind of like you're still extending it and stuff like that. But it's kind of weird within a 5-minute period of him getting screwed over, getting hit with the briefcase, and them hugging. Like, I think that's a little too much, but I don't know.
Here's them all
standing tall. He was sitting on Seth, flexing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I don't know. What's funny is like everything about it is like I like the beat down, all the like him hitting the coup de grace off everything and fucking
right.
But then the other story they're trying to, like, they're telling this dominant Judgment Day story, but the other story they're trying to also tell, it's like there's two Judgment Day stories.
There's a lot of Judgment Day going on,
and they're not connecting. So I don't know.
JD's in the mix now. He had the match with Sami and stuff. Obviously, Dom is doing his thing in NXT. Judgment Day is in everything. I gotta be the JD stuff. I honestly don't care about. Really?
Like it's
I think it's kind of refreshing, kind of seeing someone else in the mix.
100%.
And the stories there with him and Finn, like Finn was his mentor and stuff.
But it's like they started it like months ago, and then they realized like, oh, Judgment Day is like way bigger of a thing. Now they're returning to it.
I do think that that is my one thing. Is qualm? Is that my one qualm about it? Yeah, I think they teased that a little too early. Are you doing a little dictionary?
No, I'm just pulling up.
Yeah, I do think they jumped the gun a little bit with JD, or like when they introduced him, they just stopped doing it. I'm like, okay, where'd he go? Now he's back in the mix. I wish they kind of just held off until now, or like started it back then. Mm-hmm. But I do like his involvement now. I think it makes sense. It's not like a random like guy being thrown in there. Adds another twist. And again, like this fantasy booking war games or whatever, but like, you know, that's 3 months out. Like I think him being involved up until that point, like
does help.
It could be cool. It could be a nice little addition to the group.
Well, that is Raw and SmackDown. We do got a little Dynamite.
Yes, we do. To cover. And I can be included this week because I can actually talk about stuff.
Fucking go. Fun night. I guess it was, which I kind of kept forgetting it. I guess it was Fight for the Fallen.
It's like every 2 weeks there's this some sort of event.
And I'm going to get this wrong, but I believe, was it the whole show? Or a lot of the proceeds, I know most, if not all, the proceeds for the Texas Chainsaw match went to Maui. I don't know if it was the whole show. Either way,
not too sure.
Either way, I think for the most part, the show or some of the show or whatever was in support of Maui, and they were donating funds to. I read it the other day. I forget what it was, but Orange Cassidy versus Wheeler Yuta.
Kick-ass match.
This was fun. Fun.
And this goes back to our roots. I like for a while I did not see the appeal in Orange Cassidy. I understood the character, like, all right, silly character, this and that, but I was never sold on it. And then he had his match with Will Ospreay, and we talked about it. And
that was the real
turning point for me. But let me tell you something, man. This championship reign is fucking
He's one of the greatest.
Insane,
He's
bro.
One of the greatest.
I tweeted, bro, when he loses this title, I'm gonna be more shocked when he loses it than when Roman Reigns loses, bro. Like he's such a legendary run, man. Orange Cassidy has won me over. All respect, much love to Orange Cassidy. Like I went from I'm not a hater. I definitely wasn't a hater, but like I wasn't a believer. I wasn't a believer for sure. But now I'm. He has all my support.
Yeah.
I'm all in, baby.
And then this just turned into chaos after the match. Orange Cassidy gets the pin. Instantly, Claudio runs in. Moxley runs, or they're already ringside, but like they start beating him down. And there was teases last week because like Claudio wore Penta's mask and all of that. Best friends come down. They're trying to help. All of a sudden, Lucha Bros come in, and then Eddie Kingston makes a return.
There was a whole lot of returns.
And then Claudio runs at Eddie Kingston because they fucking hate each other. And I fucking love Eddie Kingston. I guess he was in Japan for a while doing his thing over there.
G1. The G1.
Was he in the G1?
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
And then and the Lucha Bros are back in like this main event pictures. We haven't seen like the Lucha Bros being presented in this way in a long time, which they're my fucking favorites. I love them. And then
gets the mic.
Who was it in the ring? Who said this?
Eddie Kingston said
it. Was Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, because they chased off. Yeah, so Eddie Kingston says, "You guys versus all of us. Stadium stampede at Wembley." So they gotta find more partners.
Yeah, that's the thing. They need to find one more guy.
No, it's like more than one, I think.
The Bullet all right, so it's Lucha Bros,
Best Friends,
and Kingston. How many is that? Is that 6? 6.
5. Or
because 2 Lucha
Bros, Best Friends,
Orange and Eddie.
Oh, Orange, that you're right, 6.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they need to find
fuck, you're right.
Let me look up.
So
they put a
it'd be
graphic
Mox,
on there.
Claudio, Wheeler, Danielson maybe comes back for this. I know he's hurt, but I saw a thing that when he
they need 3 people.
6 on. Okay, so usually the matches before were it was like 5 on 5 or something.
Sure.
So, okay, so I got all mixed up. Danielson I can see coming back because they said his return would be right around All In. So maybe he'll be one of them. Then
maybe Takeshita, because like he's with like Don Callis kind of sided himself with Blackpool.
Right.
Unless I missed something. Maybe
I mean, he did walk out on Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
So I don't know. I don't
know who. I honestly have no idea who it could be.
I mean,
I think Danielson's
I feel like that's it's like an easy one to assume. And then the last 2, I mean, I have no clue. I think AEW is cool in this way that you can just have such random returns and stuff like that, and just people out of the left field that can come in and be a part of this.
But this is gonna be bonkers.
It's gonna be Stadium Stampede fucking kicks ass, dude.
This is gonna
kicks ass.
Last time they did it, I think, was in the pandemic.
It was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. And those matches fucking rock.
They're so crazy.
So good. I remember Hangman coming in on a horse and stuff like that. When Matt Hardy
guy on the bar.
He was when he was going through the water and he was like coming out as his different characters and shit, bro. That was lit. I'm very excited for that match.
Kenny Omega sit-down interview ends with Don Callis coming out. They're still planting. I gotta stop using the term planting seeds, but Kenny Omega and Don Callis still hate each other. And this kind of led into Chris Jericho choosing if he's going to side with Don Callis or not. Surprisingly, Chris Jericho says yes, despite all his like ego and all of this.
They had the backstage segment before of Kenny, and then Takeshi, someone came and beat down.
You're right. They beat down
Kenny.
Oh, you're right.
I just want to say this because I thought it was funny.
No, please.
They beat him down. They sent him to the hospital, and Hangman's outside the hospital talking. Blah, blah. And he's like drinking the beer, and the doctor goes like, "Hey, you're at a hospital. You can't be drinking beer here." I thought that was so funny. I thought that was so funny. And then it led to this.
You know what? This is kind of a pivot, but you know what? I watched 2 YouTube videos the other day. I watched really. I forget who it was by, but I watched this like mini documentary showcasing the whole MJF and CM Punk feud.
Sure.
And I just rewatched all the promos and like some highlights of the matches.
I had to write. I want to talk about something later on.
Okay.
I don't want to interrupt what we're doing
sure.
here.
And then I'm also just kind of pulling up Twitter just to see, just to get the timeline of things that happened last night. But and then I was watching kind of it documented CM Punk's entire like first return.
Yep.
And it documented. And I kind of just want to get brushed up on like if they, if they're gonna end up doing Elite and Punk, whatever. But there's also some stuff where Punk said some stuff.
He talked about Hangman.
And
I've heard from what I've seen and stuff is that Kenny Omega has no issue with working with Punk. I guess it's the Bucks and Hangman are the ones that.
I don't know.
But at the end, it's all God knows what goes on behind the scenes there.
I mean, genuinely, I don't know.
I'm a little saying this, bro. Money talks, bro. If you put personal issues, I get it. Everyone has fucking personal. In the wrestling industry, you're not gonna like everyone you work with. All right, it's not like this buddy thing. Like it's competition. Everyone wants to be at the top. You're not gonna like everyone, right?
Sure.
But they had their backstage. They had the brawl, whatever the fuck it was. If they did a Punk Omega feud or an Elite versus CM Punk FTR thing, you know how fucking massive that would be for AEW.
You do CM FTR versus the Elite.
That's what I'm saying,
Printing
bro.
money.
Oh my God, it's easy money.
But my thing is just I think I'm just over Punk. he's just so annoying.
I'm not.
And he's
I'm
just
not
like,
sold on his return.
Yeah,
so far.
I also just haven't. It's tough to watch Collision.
That's the other thing too, is that he's on the B show.
Apparently, apparently Collision's killing.
I'm sure, but it's on a Saturday night. I'm
It's
not watching.
tough.
I'm not.
Because you have,
I know people are gonna share on it, but like I'm not watching. Saturday nights, I'm going out. Like I
get it. We're a wrestling podcast. It doesn't make sense for us to be like, man, I don't want to watch that. But you think of it, and I like movies and stuff. I
like hanging out with my girlfriend.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So
it's
hard.
Monday, we don't even need to do this, but Monday Raw. If you want to watch NXT, which it's killing it. NXT is Tuesday.
So good.
Wednesday is Dynamite.
And then Friday SmackDown.
Thursday you have a breather, but I think maybe even if you want to go crazy, I think Impact might be on.
Sure, yeah.
SmackDown's on Friday. Now you got Collision.
And Rampage on Friday too.
And
At
Rampage.
10,
it's
right
a
after
lot, man.
It's a lot of wrestling.
It's a
lot of wrestling. That's why, like we've talked about, like I like going back on YouTube and watching clips of it to I know what's happening and stuff like that. But it's hard for me. I'm not watching Collision on a Saturday. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so I don't know. I think
there's more to be told there. I think there's definitely a lot more story to be told. CM Punk, I like him as a heel. I think CM Punk being a heel is cool because I think he is a phenomenal heel. I think he's a great face, but a phenomenal heel.
I like him as a heel, but it's like, I don't know. Did you just call out Hangman? Because apparently there's rumors of like, he did the Hangman thing, which was like a shoot off the air thing. And then he texted Hangman after saying like apologizing for it. But it's like, if it's not, maybe it is for a story, but if it's not for a story, shut the fuck up.
There's also all these stories about him, like apparently him and Jack Perry had a little thing backstage.
He's just like
him and Dolph Ziggler's younger brother. Like apparently he
Ryan
got sent
Nemeth,
home because like he didn't say like he tweeted something about Punk saying like softest
in the world or something.
Yeah, something like that. And Punk had an issue with it, and he got sent home.
There was a story. The story was like Punk confronted him backstage, and he was like an inch from his face.
There's a lot of different stories about Punk and shit. Like I don't know.
Like the more stuff that I read about this, and it's like the more like Seth was right, where he's just like, Punk, Phil, you're a cancer. Yeah. Stay out of our company. I don't know.
I feel like there's a lot of different opinions about CM Punk.
And I love the breaking the fourth wall thing. Like I love all especially like the MJF promos where whether it's real or not with him screaming at Tony and da-da-da.
Right.
And I love all like the breaking the fourth wall kind of realism for it. But it's like Punk's trying to do that, but in the most just annoying way possible.
Listen, he's a draw. Like, he's for sure a draw, but, like, I feel like it seems like there's a lot of controversy, a lot of issues that come with him. Which is, I mean, AEW obviously is putting up with it and shit, but, like...
I feel like most people are ignoring... Like, everyone I see is just, like, ignoring it. Because they're just, like... Whatever. It's just Punk.
That's the thing.
Whatever.
But like, too, like if you're seeing this, like if you get involved or have an issue with Punk, like that could hurt you more than it hurts Punk. Yeah. They're obviously going to protect Punk more than a Ryan Nesmith or Nemeth, whatever the hell is Nemeth, whatever it is.
And again, I rewatched. I mean, this is rehashing it all, but like I rewatched I didn't fully grasp, I guess, at the time what the media scrum did, but like it started with like. Hangman and Punk, and Hangman kind of made like a little wink about apparently there was a thing going around where Punk basically got Colt Cabana fired or some shit from AEW.
Yeah,
which again, I'm rehashing a year-old thing here, but I just kind of got refreshed in my mind. And then like Hangman made a wink toward it, and I guess the Elite haven't been, Punk was mad the Elite didn't shut down that rumor. And
right.
Then like I rewatched that media scrum, and I was just like, it's like, I mean, like I'm not the one to place blame. And then there was like, the fight backstage with the Elite, but it's like, I don't know, all of this annoying shit seems to stem from Punk. And it's like,
well, there's one common denominator in all of this. CM Punk. So yeah, I mean, everyone has their opinions. I mean, again, he's a draw. He's good business wise. So you kind of
and for what it's worth, like all of that negative stuff, I do like. I like the works Punk's been doing. I haven't really caught a whole lot of his matches. Apparently, he's all right. But I like the whole. I'm the real AEW champion. He's spray painted the X.
There's something there.
Love that. That's great.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I am all for
CMFTR. Love the trio.
I am all for Punk being back, but I'm just so, it doesn't catch my attention anymore when I see like Punk yelled at Ryan Nemeth. Now I just kind of roll my eyes at it, and it's like
another thing.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
at this point,
right,
it's
awesome.
like at this point, yeah, I could care less. Just like I'm focusing on the wrestling part now. All that other shit, like it just comes with it, I guess.
But jumping back to what you were saying, yeah. So I had to kind of get reminded here. But after the interview, Takeshita and Bullet Club Gold of Juice Robinson and Jay White attack Kenny, and they're like, break his back, hit him with the fucking wood.
I can imagine that it's gonna be like Omega and the Elite versus Takeshita, Bullet Club Gold. Maybe if Hangman's there, you throw Bullet Club Gold, gets one more guy.
The guns are in Bullet Club Gold.
Oh, that's right. So, okay, so maybe the Elite get one more guy.
Who knows?
Okay, yeah. I think that's definitely the all-in match, at least.
So yeah, Jericho, blah, 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 we'll get back to it. Jericho is in the ring, and he joins Don Callis, and then they have with Don Callis' surprise, they hug.
Dude, Don Callis, you want to talk about, like, heels and shit that get heel heat? Him and Dom, he's like the Dom Mysterio of AEW, bro. He can't even talk, bro.
I don't know too much of his history before, like, AEW started, because like I think he was like a pretty notable name. Like him and Kenny obviously have like a lot of history. There's a lot of history there that I don't know of. But yeah, I mean he's been phenomenal. But then Jericho, there's like a painting in the ring. Jericho's all excited, like, no, let's see it. And Don's like, no. And they reveal it, and it's Don Callis holding up Jericho's severed head. Because Don thought he was going to say no.
Yep.
So that kind of led to
I'm just kind of looking up the like history and stuff like that. So what I remember, he was in TNA. He was in TNA since 2003. And he was like the executive vice president in 2007, and he was a commentator for them. And he worked for ECW in the late 90s to early 2000s stuff. So he's always had his hand in on wrestling, and then he first appeared in AEW in 2020 when Impact and AEW kind of started working together.
Interesting.
So that's kind of like his intro to...
I know nothing about TNA.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's kind of like, I think that's where his big, like he's really known the most from. That's why I knew him from, was from Impact and stuff. Yeah.
And then so Takeshita comes down to help Don Callis, and then out of fucking nowhere, Will Ospreay comes in.
Sure.
Oh, here's my one gripe. Either I think maybe it was a mix of both. Either the crowd, if Will Ospreay came out of nowhere, I would have lost my mind. The crowd didn't seem to give him a lot, or it was in part to AEW's fucking audio team.
It was weird I saw your tweet about it.
The commentators were so loud, and I really noticed it during the Texas Chainsaw match, because when someone get hit with a chair, you usually hear the fucking bass and the fucking bop.
Also during
it was so
I think
quiet.
It was the MJF Adam Cole segment, which we'll get to. Maybe it was, I don't think it was my laptop, because it stopped after this. There was like this weird like ringing noise throughout the entire segment for me. Once the segment was over, it stopped. So I was like, I literally was like pausing. I was like, is that my laptop? And it wasn't. I clicked play.
Oh, weird.
And it was gone. So when you were tweeting that, I was like, okay, maybe it is the show. So
might have been it too. I have no idea.
I have no clue.
But I like hearing, that's such a big part of it is hearing, and I guess it is pretty low most of the time. For some reason AEW has it low, but I tweeted that, and then instantly everyone's like, no, I'm right. It's always like that. I'd watched Dynamite. It was exceptionally, it was low. It was lower than usual. It is usually low. It was lower than usual. Where you couldn't hear like chair shots. You couldn't hear anything. So that was annoying, but that's kind of a technical thing. But anyway, brother, we got Will Ospreay looking like we're setting up Will Ospreay and Jericho.
They announced it already.
Oh, is it actually announced? Let's fucking ride. Sammy Guevara comes in, whatever.
So I think they have All Out a few weeks after too. So there's like two big events coming up. So I feel like there's a lot of like the Elite versus Takeshita Bullet Club Gold type of thing. I think that's like an all-in match, or maybe they'll do Kenny Takeshita at one of them and do the tag team match at another. Sammy Jericho versus Will and Takeshita at one event. Chris versus Will at one event type of I feel like it's going to be a lot of like mixing and matching between the two pay-per-views, if you know what I mean.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Chris Jericho and Will Ospreay is definitely a weird combo, a weird duo.
I like it.
I like the idea of it. I like the idea of it.
Someone kind of said who knows? Maybe it was, Will Ospreay is a young guy, and
He wants to work with a legend.
That's what I'm saying. It might have been just like on his bucket list.
And Jericho's still great. I'm not no
Jericho can still put on a match.
It's just they're two very different style wrestling, obviously. Like, obviously Ospreay is like 20 years younger than him, so he can do a lot more. But the story's there. Jericho's a legend. I think it'll be fine.
We got Will Ospreay back on AEW
That's right.
TV.
That's what matters.
Fucking sick.
That's what matters.
Then we got Gates of Agony versus Nick Wayne and Darby Allin.
It was a fine match. But
Yeah.
I think the highlight of it was afterwards with Joker Sting.
Yeah, I mean, I love, like, I'm also just all in on Swerve, too. Swerve and AR Fox are sick. So, yeah, all the time. Yeah, then Joker Sting with the fucking...
I love it,
Did you see the Impact Twitter account? I think...
Someone tweeted that at me, saying that they posted something on YouTube or whatever it was.
Like, instantly after they posted, like, the highlight.
Hey, you scared the crap out of me.
Hey, so...
That was very quiet.
She's sneaky.
She is sneaky. They do that a lot. When like Jeff Hardy returned, like they post like Jeff Hardy like returns to TNA. Yeah, I don't blame them. Hey, you might as well when the strike when it's hot. What do they call it? What's the saying?
I think you got it. Strike when the iron's hot.
Iron's hot.
Got it.
Iron. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all in for that. I haven't again. I didn't really. I haven't experienced too much Joker Sting. I know the lore of it. I've seen videos, but. Yeah, fucking, and he seems like he's having just from the vignette, it seems like he's having a ball.
He's having a great time.
Yeah, I love it. I love when Sting's happy. Got some Jungle Boy stuff with FTW Championship. He's bragging about beating RVD. I forget if anything came of that, if there was like a challenge or anything.
No, so what he said was he's going to retire the belt next week.
Oh yeah, that is what he said.
He was like, since I win the belt, like it became the championship, like I'm retiring it next week.
Which like,
I'm sure it's not. I'm sure someone's going to come out.
But even if they did. It's not.
I'm with you.
It's not a real. Yeah,
I'm with you. Yeah, I could care less.
All right, Jeff Hardy versus Jeff Jarrett.
My God, bro. What?
I can't believe it.
What? Jeff Hardy, man, is 45 years old and he's in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match.
Shocking.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Was this before? Oh, we gotta touch on.
Oh yeah. We'll talk about that after the death match. I mean, the death match was fine.
Okay.
It was a lot of people were involved, which makes sense because Jeff Hardy. I mean, like, probably shouldn't be doing too much, because he could die. But like, did the Swanton bomb through the table? There's a lot of blood, a lot of fake blood.
Looks tough. He barely gets the rotation these days.
But it's tough. But listen, anytime I see Jeff go through a table, I'm still gonna pop. 100%. Then you had Leatherface come out at one point to distract him. And
I didn't love that.
I didn't like that either, but the whole
part.
match was silly. And then Jeff Jarrett wins and he has the Texas Chainsaw belt at the end. He has like an actual belt.
And even like backstage, like Matt Hardy got involved and they did like the blood bath.
So many people were. Karen Jarrett was involved. Like everyone.
She's involved in a lot.
She is involved in
it was a fun match. And also what I heard about this is I think AEW got like $100,000 for this promotion to donate to Maui.
Sure.
So like, say what you will about the match. Obviously,
it's for a good cause.
It's for a good cause. They're gonna put two huge names in it, and they're gonna make it as silly and entertaining as it was. Like,
and they did.
And it was. I think
all credit to them.
I think it delivered. Like, this match wasn't gonna be like any sort of like crazy death match and like legendary. So it was entertaining.
Jeff Hardy wasn't going to take a ton of bumps. Let's be real. Like, he took some, but
it was cool to see Jeff back in that kind of light. Like, it was, I love the full white was so
with
sick.
The mask and stuff, the face paint, bro. I'm gonna be a baby when he retires, bro. I'm telling you, man.
Again, didn't love the Leatherface stuff, but like, what am I gonna do? Complain?
It's silly. It works. Okay.
Oh yeah, I did have the yeah. So I'm kind of just like looking at like clips of it again.
All right, MJF, Adam Cole, bro.
Yeah.
I
love it.
Besides the Bloodline, this is the best fucking thing going in wrestling right now. He's talking about how can we prepare versus the Aussie Open. Let's go to Outback Steakhouse. Are you fucking kidding me?
These segments are some of the funniest and best things I've ever fucking
the
seen.
Kowloon, the dodgeball, the video games, Outback,
funny.
And then they go crocodile hunting, bro. Come on.
I like. Just so naturally and easily funny. The fucking kangaroo pick.
He goes, I know what to do.
I hope he's got to do it in the match.
They were teasing it this week. He's definitely. I feel like he's gonna pull it off like the week before the match or something. I mean, kind of with the double clothesline.
He's got to be in the conversation. Maybe give it a while as he's still new, but like being the best heel in the business. People want to rip his guts out from being the best comedic wrestler right now. He's so funny.
And people love him. And people love him. He's so good.
He gets he thinks of and gets a kangaroo kick over, getting a double clothesline.
I mean, they have T-shirts for it. Come on,
he's one of the greatest, man. Dude, he really is.
I love MJF. It's so good. It's just so good. And then they come out after the segment. And he's in the car. Oh, and then they do the double clothesline to the pool, and Tony Khan calls him into the office.
Oh, the Tony Khan shit was so funny.
And they leave. He goes, "Oh, he's gonna regret that in 2024." And the contract stuff. He goes, "What did you say?" He goes, "Oh, I'm just saying like good talk and everything like that." Okay, cool guy.
Cool word.
He's such a fanboy.
I love Tony.
I do love that. He's a fanboy, but like it's very funny. And then after they actually come out in the car, he goes, he pulls. He goes, "Dude," he goes, "I gotta take a dump right now." He goes, "I'll be back," and shit like that. I was cracking.
I mean, look at him doing the fucking kangaroo shit where he just...
Dude, he's so good. He's so good. And then obviously they went into their promo battle. Adam Cole saying this is the biggest match of my life. Like 9 months ago, I was up crying because I didn't know if I'd be able to wrestle again. MJF is talking, and Adam Cole's like,
MJF's like, that was a great promo. Too bad mine's better.
Yeah, story time with MJF, baby. And he's talking about... Very cool. You know, it's like when I started wrestling camp, they said, write down 2 names you want to go up against dream opponents. Cody Rhodes, Adam Cole. He goes, I bought this truck, put 90,000 miles in the first year because I was grinding. I wanted to make a name for myself. Also, I'm not a huge fan of when AEW like wrestlers like mention WWE, just because like I feel like sometimes it's unnecessary. It here. But here I think MJF is the only guy that when he does mention it, when it makes sense, that and he has a pass for
They didn't just mention it for like a...
Not for like a... Yeah, it wasn't for like a...
Strictly just like storytelling.
And he's telling the truth. Like biggest wrestling event outside of WWE, which is correct. I do like when MJF kind of says those things because there is truth behind it and stuff.
Talked about how he DM'd Cody, just give me a shot. He opened up All In 2018, and now he's main eventing it. Fucking
It actually is kind of crazy how full circle it goes. Like literally, like Adam Cole being his dream opponent, and he's main eventing in what could be the biggest wrestling event. Period, because
I think at this point it kind of is confirmed.
I mean, over 80,000. It's gonna be the largest audience in history. I mean, that's crazy. That is I mean, good for AEW. I want to give AEW their flowers for that because that's an incredible accomplishment, an incredible feat, and I'm sure it's gonna go down as one of the best shows. I am too.
And then what I liked is like they did their spots, they did their promos, and they're also like, but and they did talk about like the tag match at the beginning and whatever, but then they're like, this is for the, like, I'm not just going to lie down for you. Like, this is my title.
Both of them are saying this is the biggest match of our career. It's like, I'll do anything to keep the belt, all that stuff.
So amped. Aussie Open comes in and attacks, blah, blah.
Throw them out, and then he tries to do the kangaroo thing.
The kangaroo kick was so fun.
Here we go. Look at the crowd. Look at the crowd.
He's the best, man.
Look at him. Look at him.
He's going to do the kangaroo kick in the match, and the crowd's going to lose their mind.
Oh my god, dude. It's so great. He's so fucking good. It's gonna break my heart when Adam Cole turns on him.
I mean, yeah, that's what At
this point, like, you have so much with MJF. You're like, he's a heel, I get it. But like I think he's a perfect mix. I don't want to compare him to Roman, but in this sense where Roman is a heel, but fans do kind of cheer for him because of how well good the character is. MJF is kind of getting to that point where like he's a douchebag, he's a scumbag, but like fans love him because he tells the truth.
At this point, he's like a pseudo face.
He's definitely like a 90-10 face to heel, but like it's incredible how he can play both so well.
And
so well.
What's nice, like because they have the tag match which is so sick that they're opening with the tag match.
5:00. It's like on the pre-show.
Do they?
Too.
It is.
That's crazy.
Do they win or lose that? And I have no idea.
That match is more unpredictable to me than the main event, to be honest with you. I feel I
have no idea who's going to win the main event.
Both of them kind of unpredictable. I'm leaning towards MJF. I mean, we're not doing predictions yet. I'm leaning more towards MJF winning that.
I think I am too.
But it'll be interesting to see because if they win the tag team belts, it's like, okay, like now they're like an official tag team, they're champs. There's cracks, but obviously like not as big anymore because they're the champs. If they lose, could it be because of Adam Cole takes the pin or MJF takes the pin and it's just like, you cost us the match, more cracks. Yeah. There's a lot that can come from an opening pre-show match. That's crazy. That's so cool.
Can't remember the last time I watched a pre-show. I'm glued to this pre-show.
I'm definitely going to. Yeah, I'm hyped for that.
Okay. So don't worry, we're almost done. the Bunny versus Britt Baker to qualify for the All-In 4-Way.
Kind of predictable. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, I wanted Sky Blue to beat Saraya. Saraya's in.
Sure.
I get it. It's All In. She's the bigger name.
And it's also her home country and stuff like that as well.
Britt Baker, and there's a lot of Britt Baker haters out there. I like Britt Baker.
I love Britt Baker.
I'm also a big fan of the Bunny. Would have loved to see the Bunny in here. I get it.
But it's their biggest
name.
event. You gotta have the biggest names in there. Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the graphic of it's Britt,
Tony,
Sheeta, Britt, Sheeta, Tony, Saraya. Solid.
Solid.
I mean, it's the 4 biggest names in the company.
Yeah.
Tony Storm enacting her rematch clause to get thrown in it.
Saraya in her home country. Britt Baker, obviously, probably the most well-known, best women's wrestler in AEW history at this point, and then obviously the current champ, who's also amazing.
All right, the Guns versus the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
God, I love the Guns.
The Guns are they've grown on me. They've grown on me.
Oh, their entrance is so sick.
Insane how much they look like their fucking dad.
Yeah, they do.
So eerily similar. It's especially is that Colton?
Colton?
Is that Colton?
I don't know what the other one's name is. One's Colton.
Colton.
I don't know which one's
whichever one, the one on the right is, he looks just like Billy.
Yeah. Which also, we don't have to touch. We're kind of going toward the end of it, but there was kind of skipped over some acclaimed stuff where, like, Billy Gunn, I mean, this is like weeks ago where Billy Gunn like left his boots in the ring, and then House of Black come out with the boots.
Yeah.
They attack the Acclaimed.
I definitely think Billy Gunn definitely isn't retired. I think it's just part of the story. It's like he's going to come out and save the Acclaimed one of these days or whatever, and lead to probably a trios championship match, I'd imagine, which would be awesome.
And House of Black still feels so fucking sick.
Yeah,
I love
House of Black too.
Anyway,
Young Bucks win this one, but great showing by the Guns.
God, and I just like seeing the Bucks in the tag team, like they're so needed.
Yeah.
The Bucks are so fucking
It's like the New Day in WWE.
Genuinely.
You know what I mean?
They add so much to the tag division. I'm glad they're back in. Whether they're gonna stay with Kenny, maybe go after some trios, or they're gonna stick around. Well, they're facing the FTR, so I guess they're facing. What am I saying? I mean FTR versus the Bucks.
That could be the match of the night. Could be.
I mean, All In is looking meaty.
Yeah.
All In's gonna be
it's
sick.
gonna be a fucking great card.
Oh yeah, so Bullet Club Gold come in, FTR come in to beat down the Guns, and they have a little bit of, and they beat down Bullet Club Gold. FTR and Young Bucks kind of end the night with a little bit of a stare down. Amped.
Yeah, that match is gonna kick ass.
Amped.
That match is gonna kick ass. And I think that was that closed out.
One last thing. So we didn't. We mentioned it. We didn't. To the MJF and Adam Cole thing. When MJF had his back turned, Cole was getting ready.
Yeah.
Then he turned around. And it was
And then they hugged. And if you saw, he was looking at the belt the whole time.
Oh, see, I wasn't looking at. I had my eyes glued to Adam Cole's hands because after
the thing I told you,
I was like, is he gonna do it again? Well, he didn't do it.
They were hugging, and he was like looking to his left where the belt was.
I was too busy looking at his hands.
I'm telling you, he's gonna be Adam, man. Unless they're really pushing it now to make it seem like it's gonna be Adam.
And get Roderick Strong out of this fucking story.
I think it's funny how I feel like he keeps getting more and more injured every week. Like he went to kick the car. He went to kick the car and he hurt his foot, and now he has ice on his foot. That's that's funny, but he's kind of just like a side character here.
Yeah. And then
really quick. So one thing I wrote down, we were talking about.
Yeah.
You're talking about YouTube. You say you were watching YouTube,
sure.
And that brought me back to this. I don't think I ever mentioned this. I ended up watching that Roman Reigns video.
Oh yeah,
the
Sniper Wolf, whatever his name was.
I forget what was the title. Something of pro wrestling. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Very fucking good.
Crazy, right?
Really good. That was from like a few weeks ago. I just keep forgetting to mention it. My buddy Matt from back home. He grew up a wrestling fan, stuff like that, but he's been out of the loop and stuff, and he's like been trying to get back into it. Like he's like, what, like, I've always been a WWE guy, but what about AEW? Like, should I watch that? I was like, listen, like story wise, WWE is like, the Bloodline stuff, like that's one of the best stories, in history right now. Like, that's great to follow along. But if you want to watch for wrestling, AEW is the way to go. He goes like, I want to watch WWE, but like I don't know much about Roman Reigns and all that. I was like, brother, do I have a video
brother,
do I have a video for you? So I sent it over to him. I don't think he's watched it yet, but I was like, when you watch it, let me know. So I'm very interested.
What's cool about that is anyone can watch that video.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's legit like a movie.
Yeah,
it's very, very cool. It's very well done. But yeah, just wanted to say that it was a very, very cool video.
That is our show. We got Sophie here in the other room. We got to film some quizzes for you. We got to do some other stuff. Thank you for watching. Follow us on everything. Subscribe. We're closing in on 100,000. 100,000.
Crazy.
I'm excited. How long did it take to get the silver? It took a little bit to get the play button actually in.
Oh God, months.
I think we were at like 120 by the time.
Yeah, it took a few months.
At old Lumbee there.
Lumbee, yeah.
Anywho.
Well, it'll be, we will have that eventually. Because of you guys.
Phrase.
Kangaroo.
No, pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice is back.
Yeah.
Something
Anything
like that.
pumpkin spice.
Anything pumpkin spice.
That's
you made it this far. We made it this far. Happy episode 40. Here's to another 40. We appreciate it. We will see you next time. We will see you all week.
We will see you at 41.
Keep your eyes out on just, there's going to be announcements coming in with the next couple weeks. Some little us announcements, some little merch stuff. So keep your eyes out a lot coming up the next couple months. So exciting time.
See you then.